Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I am Greg, and this is another Monday night with Thunderleaf Games. It's a little bit different tonight. We are doing a Chapter 1 retrospective. If you've been watching our Monday night stream, you know that last week we got our asses handed to us in court.
We think.
Some of us.
Some of us did. Some of us did. Smitty got his ass handed to him in court. So we are actually going to be taking a little break from Cyberpunk on our Monday night streams. We'll get more into what we're going to fill that gap with in a little bit. But right now, we're going to kind of do a retrospective on Chapter 1. So first, I want to kick it around. I want to ask everybody, what's your favorite moment from Chapter 1? And I want to start off with the man at the head of the story himself, Mike. What's your favorite Chapter 1 memory?
Oh, man. There's so many. I think I got to go back to the first cocaine bomb that accidentally went off in Cav's face. Mm-hmm. I think that set the tone for the unexpected chaos that was to ensue.
I like it. Yeah, that was I was reading the notes on that today, and yeah, that definitely that was a tone setter for sure. All right, let's kick it over to Amy.
I think I really like the more like heart-to-heart moments that we have, kind of the more emotional stuff. In the last several episodes, like that moment with Cav and Static, that was just like, I'm gonna punch him in the face because he's being a jerk, and you're like, we're a unit, we're together in this, like this little family we've built, and F off, like, what are you doing? And then Skrull's apology for the leg incident, like those little tiny heartfelt moments where there's actual like connection of character, I think are just absolutely awesome.
No, I agree. As chaotic and goofy as we can get, I really think we do those small, intimate moments really well too. And a lot of those are moments I'm going to carry for a long time. What about you, Donnie?
Well, I've had so much time to think about this here since you prepped us for this question. So I think that for me, it is the moment where Skrull realized Static was a corpo baby. Like, it was just such a fun moment to play, and like completely out of what we had been doing. So instead of buddy cop movie with Static Skrull, it suddenly was, well, fuck that guy. And I just really enjoyed that kind of role reversal and kind of trying to play do we even continue with this group anymore? And as it turns out, maybe probably shouldn't have, but
that was a really cool moment. Yeah, I liked that it introduced some tension between our characters, because as a role player, that's a really fun thing for me to play around with. Is I'm used to tension with the world, but when I get to have tension with other players, that's where meaty roleplay is, and I really like those moments. All right, Ray, what about you?
It was going to be what Mike said, which was the synth coke bomb in Cav's face. Yeah, after she was told to put it down, hopscotch. But since that one's already been said, and I know I've said this before, but the B Squad, to be able to have a show and pause that show and continue it with a whole set of characters in zero time, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool, and I loved getting to see another side of Night City without our characters in it.
Yeah, it really is like it really is a living city.
Yeah,
like this world that Mike has built. Yeah.
Like Molly's there forever, right? Like those characters
in
are now entangled into what we have in the regular, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys handled that transition character, from one to another amazingly well.
Yeah, that was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
really cool.
I really had fun with that episode, and not just because Ajax killed a man with his bare hands.
I'd love to check back in with them at some point.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That was one of the
absolutely have
most
to
fun
check back in with the B
episodes.
Squad, because that was
As Ajax wasn't he waiting
Let's
for
be
his retirement
retired. It was
paperwork?
like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was his
Yeah.
last
He's
day. or
still
something.
waiting for the paperwork to go through.
Yep.
I think it'd be a fun.
one day away
No,
from
we're
retirement.
at that barbecue that we all have to respond to an emergency in our shorts and Hawaiian shirts. From.
All back. Love it. All right. Oh, I probably have to do a favorite moment now too, huh?
No.
Okay. Well, then we'll just
You're the
move on.
host. You stick to your job.
Now, I think my favorite moment was Static's leg surgery going wrong. Like, all of the drama between Skrull and Static and this, I mean, for lack of a better term, will they, won't they kind of thing. And right as it seemed like Skrull was coming back around to Static, and Static had finally proven himself, like he had earned that street cred, the whole thing flipped and Static lost his humanity. And it was a really fun moment to play, but also it was a really cool character moment because it was so sad. Like, I was so excited to see Skrull and Static reconnect, and then this series of ones said nope.
So close. You were close to that like resolution,
Yeah.
and then this.
But honestly, that's why I love tabletop, and that's especially with this group, is we handle failures really, really well and really, really interestingly. I think another favorite moment was Truth getting hauled out of the court.
That was awesome.
That was
Because
amazing.
I had no idea how to handle a crit one on, like, as a player, I knew that
legit
video was
video.
legit. And so, like, and that was a really fun failure to play out, and I really appreciate the way that we can, as players, experiment and explore like that in this group. And I know whatever I do, I know you guys can handle. You know? And we do some crazy shit. Did we want to do a quick and dirty recap of season 1? If anybody is just tuning in, hasn't watched chapter 1, I've got a bit of a write-up put together, or we can just dig into some questions and talk more.
You're the host, sir.
The pressure on me, Ray?
We all got the crap kicked out of us.
Repeatedly.
Yes. Yes.
I got
And a
stabbed
series
and
of-
shot so many times.
Mostly by us.
Yeah, most of the time you got
Mostly
shot was
by
us.
you.
I think we all had a
by you.
turn.
And one
only
robotic
incriminated
bee.
yourself once.
I don't know. I don't think Skrull ever even came close. Like, I came through the whole series like really untouched somehow. Like, I think the worst thing that happened to him was probably cutting off Static's leg, and it was also the best. Like,
Yeah.
His mom burned your eyebrows off.
That's true.
that was rough, and
Yeah.
she turned me down.
Yeah.
So there's that. Like,
Double whammy.
A lot of heartbreak.
Oh, that was amazing. That was another great moment when we're fighting for our lives, and Skrull's like, "Hey, Mary, we're gonna die. Let's fuck."
Sup, yeah.
Yeah. And now you have to call him daddy
Oh
forever.
God, that's right. I have to call Skrull daddy.
something tells me Static is not up for that anymore.
No, I don't think Static is up for
No.
that anymore. I'm really, really looking forward to exploring No Humanity Static. Like, he's such a fun character, and I really had fun with the reveal. Like, watching all of you guys realize he was a corpo baby was so cool.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was a very fun one. I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, I guess I'll do a quick recap. Just a super quick and dirty breakdown. The crew, we started out as a crew that knew each other. We'd been together for a little while, but not super long. We were hired to track down some booze that went missing from the bar that Static worked at, Salt and Batteries. That led us to a bozo hideout. The bozos tried to convert Static because they sent him in alone. Then we took out all the bozos.
Dressed as a clown. We prepared you.
That's true. We did put him on your polka dot dress, if I remember right.
Dude, you had a nice dress on, yeah.
He did have a nice dress.
You guys plan really well and then don't execute said plan.
That's kind of a hallmark. That's what we do.
Details.
Yeah. We went
But
back.
that's how
That's
you
step
do
2,
RPG. Like,
Yeah.
if you ever did it correctly,
True.
then you're not playing the game right.
Exactly. Like, if
This is true.
I want a
Yeah.
tactical game, I'm gonna play a tactical game. I want to.
Yeah. Like, you can't play D&D and just open a fucking door, Mike. I mean,
Right?
come on.
Seriously. You gotta listen
how it
to it,
works.
touch it, feel it, poke it, smell it,
Yeah.
and then check the handle. So we go back to the bar, get hired to help a community organizer buy some groceries. Static gets distracted by a camera on the way and ends up deciding that he's going to do a free show at Salt and Batteries that night. The crew prime away for the camera. We go to the bodega. Guy's like, hey, I'm being extorted. We're like, cool, we'll fuck that guy up. We beat the guy who was in the back extorting him up and make him carry the groceries back to Salt and Batteries. And then we string him up in the rafters because we are good and decent people.
That didn't come back.
No, not at all. While the show is going on and this guy's strung up in the rafters, the bozos come to get revenge on us for killing a bunch of their homies and throw what we thought was a smoke grenade through the front door. Turns out not a smoke grenade. It was, in fact, a caffeine bomb. And everybody in the bar gets high on synth coke. Static is playing at the front of the bar while everybody's fighting. Scrawl jumps off the top rope. Hopscotch steals her first belt that we see.
Mm.
No, it was.
The life of crime begins.
Yeah.
Let's see. From there, we go out to Hopscotch's clan to kind of try and get the coke out of our system. Her dad literally beats it out of Static, while Scrawl is really worried about the radiation. But we all eat, and it's delicious. Oh, one thing happened to Static during the brawl. An EMP grenade went off, and his voice changed. Then when
Right.
we're eating the real food, Static said he hasn't had like this in a long time. We take a job from Forklift to go pick up a package in the desert, an abandoned facility. We get out there and there's spider bots. We fight them. Scrawl wants one as a pet. We get the box and load it into the truck, and shit starts to get really weird. There's like biomechanical wasps. There's a green motorcycle from Static's past. A bridge that we drove over here seems to have collapsed. Knowles from Elflines Online, Cav's favorite game, show up. Really weird. It seems like we're tripping balls. Static convinces the crew to look for Jessica, his girlfriend, who that green motorcycle belonged to. That led us to a container apartment. We get there and hear somebody running away, go inside, find a dead body, a photo of Jessica, and the number for a safe deposit box. Scrawl taste tests the bullet hole in the dead body on the floor. It's been there
Gross,
about
man.
30 minutes. It was gross. I think that's exactly what you said in the moment, too.
I don't think I really tasted it. I think I just stuck my hand in it.
No, you tasted it. In and now. Looks like that was a dead media. We head back to the bank that the safe deposit looked to be from. We get there, and it's under attack from a cyber psycho and also some gangers at the same time. Cav pretty much single-handedly takes on the cyber psycho with a bunch of NCPD grunts putting holes in the floor of the bank. A couple of the gangers run away. We get back into the office and convince him to open the vault, but the box we're looking for has been taken. That's when we then went to the B Squad episode, which was super fun. I had so much fun with that. They chase down the fleeing gangers and secure the box. They kill a man by crushing his testicles. We go back to the regular team, meet Null, who is a net runner and was guest starred by our moderator, Chris. He says he's going to be able to help us track down Jessica, but while we're doing that, talking about that business, 2 Tiger Claws try to assassinate Cav. We kill one, detain the other, and Hopscotch steals her very fashionable belt. Somebody may or may not have been noodle boarded in that confrontation.
Lawsuit still pending.
Lawsuit's still pending. We learned from Null that Jessica worked for Biotechnica. So the only logical next step is to plan a raid on Biotechnica, which we do.
That was very stupid.
We planned a raid.
So stupid.
Yeah. So we go into Biotechnica half-cocked, send Null, the Truth, and Cav up to a server room. They get distracted by some real giraffes. Hopscotch and Static rig up some distractions in the garage.
Thank God.
Right? Null trips an alarm and they tries to run. He's like, I didn't have time to wipe the footage. So we're like, well, fuck, bro, you got to go back in and wipe the footage. They fight their way back up to the server. Plug Null in. He catches fire. Skrull injects him with some 6 guns so he can keep going. He thinks
You're
he
welcome.
got the footage out of there. On the way out, the Truth almost gets detained, but he manages to talk his way out with help from Hopscotch. We decide we're going to lay... Oh, we get some information on a project called Lucidate that Jessica and Static's mom seem to be tied to. We decide we're going to lay low in the edge of the hot zone for a while, where Skrull is from. Static works for the Rat King. We go find some missing kids who were part of a fight BD ring. Waste the sickos who were forcing kids to fight. Earn some goodwill with the community. Go back to the warehouse and there's a letter for Hopscotch, all formal-like. He got served. It's a summons for court for a civil infraction for the belt. Static calls his mom, sets up a meeting, because we know she's involved with Lucidate, and we know they're testing that on NCPD and the general public. Set up the meeting. Hopscotch basically kidnaps her and takes her out to a bunker in the Badlands. As we're starting to interview her, an AV comes, drops down, attacks us. Biotechnica strike team. We get out of there and head to an encampment, nomad encampment, Camp 40, which may or may not be a labor camp. We're not sure yet.
Remains to be seen.
We leave Mary there so that she can detox because it seems like she's on Lucidate. We go back, deal with the legal fallout of... Wait, no. Wait. Mary gave us a dead drop location. We go check it out. It's an obvious trap. Escaping from that, Static gets really badly burned. Cav also gets burned, and so does the hostage that we're taking. We question him and then kill him and dump him in an alley.
That was rough.
That was rough. Go back. H decides to open up the belt she stole since it seems to be getting so much attention. It's got information and a killer drone. We go to the address. It's a dentist, a hot dentist, that's being exploited by the claws. We take care of his problem. offered to do it
Yeah, I
for a
did.
connection, and H, she got that dentist, that big dentist. We go take out the tiger claw that's extorting the guy. We kill him and burn down the noodle shop he was working out of. Static gets shot in the leg during that. Skrull tries to repair it, but it goes poorly, and he has to replace Static's leg with a cyber leg. Static goes on a bender, comes back from that, and then we went to court, and that went really well for us. What did I miss?
Cav shot the last turkey.
That's right.
Oh,
Cav did shoot the last turkey.
And Static cooked it really. He's turning into quite the chef.
He is. Static is getting
Yeah.
comfy in the kitchen. He roasted up some veggies. He knows how to make rat soup.
And Steve soup.
And Steve soup. So with all that quick recap, what did you guys expect from chapter 1? And how far off of that were we?
I thought that like the whole season was probably going to lead up to us like taking down a cyber psycho. I did not think episode 2 is going to be us taking down a cyber psycho.
Gotta hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's literally your job, Cav.
It's like a Thursday for you.
Yeah.
There's a good
Yeah, and we
point.
took down like 3, I think.
At least
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
2 or 3? Yeah.
I think it was 3.
The
Yeah.
bank and the beady pit
Yeah, there's
area
the BD pick guy.
of the backpack.
Hopscotch backpack, yes.
Yeah.
It was only 2. But still.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's only been like, what, a week and a half in the game?
How long has it
I
been?
think-
That's a question. That's a
No.
It's been,
Like a couple months, right?
yeah, it's about 2 months.
Okay. Yeah.
It is March, I guess, probably 10th, 11th, right about now.
Okay.
2045.
Too much for 2 month period, though.
Yeah, that would
Way
be
too much for 2 month period.
that'd be a lot for 2 months.
yeah, that's a lot going on.
Yeah, because I think we've
Yeah,
had to
there's some
pay
hiding
rent
out.
twice. So
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, can you imagine doing all of that whilst also having your real life job? Like,
I know. We still took
to be
clients and
fair, I
shit too.
think you
Yeah.
went like 4 days to work there, Ray. So, and the rest of us are critically unemployed. So
What you're talking about, man? Static
I-
plays at Salt and Batteries. That's gainful employment right there.
and you all are crashing in my place of work. So
Not
It's
That
a
was another great
multi-bay. One of those bays is mine. Multi-bay.
Cav realizing everyone runs a business out of the warehouse was a pretty
An
good
illegal
moment
business.
there.
That was
Out of our
amazing.
home.
I love
Yeah.
that moment. Hey, there's a chop shop in here.
I'm a legit
You must
mechanic.
have
I wasn't
Thank
talking
you.
about your business.
You're a legit mechanic. You don't have a business
Drop,
license.
drop, do you need one in Night City? I mean, come on.
Fair. All right, let's talk mechanics. Cyberpunk Red mechanics. What's everybody's background with tabletop? I'll start with myself. I started with 5e in 2020, like so many people did. Quickly found Cyberpunk, and that's definitely my preferred system. I really like the way they handle criticals, and it's just the right level of granularity for me as a player. What about you, Donnie? What are your thoughts on the mechanics of Cyberpunk Red?
I almost understand them. No, no, for real. It honestly is a great system. I really do like that. It's pretty fast paced. It's very much built towards story. I can't lie. My first and main love is always probably going to be D&D, but I've really come to enjoy Cyberpunk. I really feel like I struggle a lot with more realistic, modern kind of role playing, especially when it's into like Welcome to the World. Like I've talked before, we had started in Vampire and like a real world modern, and I really kind of felt like I struggled with that because I don't know. I have a hard time manipulating the world or like what's the line of realism versus where can I stretch this to? And I think Cyberpunk really, the idea of style over substance really fits well. It's far enough away from reality that you can really have a lot of creativity with it. And then the system's pretty robust. There's a lot of great skill sets there. It's not like you're like D&D. Sometimes you feel like I'm not sure what the heck you should roll for doing that. But like Cyberpunk's got a huge skill set without being Cthulhu level in depth. So it's a nice balance of the two, and I really do like that. So I've really come to enjoy it. I think when we first started with it, it definitely resonated a lot, and we all kind of fell into it pretty well. And yeah, like I said, I really do have come to learn a lot about the system because playing Cyberpunk here for this campaign was the first time for me. I kind of went and binged just as we were prepping for this, binged the Netflix series and played a lot of the game. And even though I've had it for a long time, I definitely had Cyberpunk since it came out, but never dug into it too far. And so yeah, it's definitely a world which I like, and that always helps, is knowing there's a little bit more of a background than just what you create yourself too.
Very cool. Kick it down to Ray.
This was only my like third ever system to like learn. I guess second technically, like third ever game. So my very first like any kind of TTRPG experience was with Mike over Discord, trying out the system. Like the rules weren't even out yet.
It was the Jumpstart
Oh,
kit.
wow.
Way back when that came
Yeah.
out.
Wow, that's cool.
And it was COVID, and he was like, "Do you want to try this?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was awesome. It was super deadly. Was it assault rifles were like, was it 16d6?
They were still 5d6.
It's 5d6.
But you could do a 3-round burst, and each
Yeah.
bullet would do 5d6. So if you hit 3 times,
15d6 if you got hit with burst fire.
It's super deadly.
It was awesome. And then years later, started playing D&D with you guys. And that was when I guess all these sort of like tabletop doors opened, so to speak. So I think the system's great. It's not as easy as D&D, but it's definitely not as complicated as. I mean, there's some tricky stuff out there.
Yeah.
I am glad we don't have to math because.
Yeah, having it not have
I don't know
to
what you're
math
talking
is-
about. That's really the best part of any of these tabletop games.
Yeah, I play for the algebra, Ray.
I will run a Traveler campaign. We will do trade wars.
I mean,
probably find a way to put that in this one.
I've got my
Let's be real.
Mecton Zeta spreadsheets that
Your
I don't.
spreadsheet. That's
My tabbed
right.
and drop down and
so
auto-calculating
crunchy,
spreadsheets.
but
I
so
built.
fun.
Like,
It was so crunchy, but so fun.
crunchiest game I've ever touched. Easily Mecton Zeta.
But really fun somehow.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
All right, Amy, what about you? What's your tabletop background, and what do you think about Cyberpunk as a system?
I only played D&D until I met you lot.
You're welcome.
And I was very bad at it. But it's been wild, like the different systems. I mean, that's not true. I played like a one-shot Cthulhu, and I played a one-shot like Pathfinder. But this is the first one. And I joke that like I only do what Mike tells me, and then it's not really a joke because I really don't know what Mike is doing, and he just says roll this, and I go great. But I will say the companion app is like a game changer,
Is
which
amazing.
Yeah.
coming from me is a big thing to say because I
Yeah.
don't use apps. I'm literally holding a pencil and I have the paper sheet in my hand right now. Like I don't use
Dude,
apps. Like
fucking love
I
you.
don't use like D&D Beyond. Like none of that. That's not for me. I am pencil paper person.
I mean,
But the app to build this character was huge, and really just helped put everything in perspective and helped to build the character. And then, like Donnie was saying, it's fictional enough that you can still have that liberty with it. And like, I've made up every single part of my interaction with this world. And Mike is just a flippin' saint. And oh my gosh, thank you,
It's amazing.
really
friend, for
appreciate.
being so gracious.
I love the way you world build, like the way you're just like, okay, this is how it is, and
I just
everybody
wanna
has
do
to work around that. Like, I genuinely
great.
love that. I think it's one of my favorite things to be at the table with as a player, because it makes the world so much more engaging and nuanced.
It is 100% one of the reasons why I was like, we really need to invite my friend Amy to play with us. Like,
I'm so glad. I know you all are so gracious as DMs, but and Mike is just incredible because like I made up Camp 40 and then during the week we're texting and it's like, here's my idea for the camp, here are some images, here's like the backstory on these people that'll live there, and it was just this whole thing. And Mike is amazing at just
That was
being
a lot
like,
of fun.
thanks for this bullshit you threw at my table. Like here, I just created this
I love it.
whole entire thing now,
Yeah,
which is
That's what
awesome.
I'm here for.
Mike is a
You guys just throwing stuff out there.
Mike, you're a big part of the reason I started this whole endeavor is the way you build a living world. That needs to be shared. More people deserve to see that because it's so cool. You have such a skill for it, and it's so rewarding to build a story with you. So now it's your turn to answer the question about mechanics.
Fun. Let's see. So mechanic wise, I think currently Cyberpunk is my favorite game. I like the world. The rules are fast enough. There's a little bit of crunch in there, and I love all of the like DLCs, and they have that kind of not quite breaking the fourth wall, but kind of like nod at it. You know what I mean? Like there's that like the achievement DLC.
Mhm.
You know, so you get those kind of fun, like irreverent style over substance. That's just, and you know, we break the rules like it's our job because it's cool.
Yeah. That's. I want to touch on two things you said. First is, holy crap, Artel does such an amazing job of supporting this product. Like it's
Yes.
monthly. They're putting out new content for this. If you haven't gone out
On top of normal books.
yeah, on top of
it's
everything
crazy.
else they're doing. If you haven't supported them in one way or another, even just by buying the core book, do it. They deserve it. They've earned that. Because they just put out a couple of days ago, the stealth one, which I'm really looking forward to digging into. I might do a little video on that. But yeah, I have so much love and appreciation for Artal Sorian and the way they support the product that we use to tell stories. I answered that question. Okay.
second thing we were going to touch on about Mike.
I totally lost it. You haven't figured it out yet? I'm a bit of a space case.
It's all good.
Gregory,
Yeah.
I said, get it together.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite clips. Is get it together, Gregory.
Gregory.
Oh. All right. Let's talk role playing. Role playing versus combat, or what you look for.
I love that you still dropped the second thing for Mike.
I can't remember what it was. I'm moving on.
I'm pretty sure it was about rule breaking.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Mike, you're great, and we appreciate you despite what Greg is doing right now.
I do love. I started that with a big thank you send up to Mike.
You guys are too kind.
But yes, we break the. I know there are a lot of actual plays out there. Spend a lot of time and effort trying to get the rules exactly right. If that's what you're here for, you're at the wrong channel.
Yeah, we're gonna abuse these poor systems.
Yeah, the way I look at every single system we use is it's a tool for us to build a story and a world together. And one of the things I love about Cyberpunk is straight up in the rules, they say style over substance, rule of cool is the number one rule. And I think that's why it fits so well for this group, because all of us lean into that style over substance. If it's cool, let's do it. And
most of us don't know the rules.
I wasn't gonna say it, Donnie.
That's more it, yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it.
It sounded better the
I
way
already
Greg
did.
was saying it.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think I want to put a few videos out on the way we play the different systems we play, because we do have a lot of really interesting homebrew and interpretation and things we just straight up ignore.
Yeah, the only one that I try to do and I get it wrong every time is beating DC.
Yes. Yeah. I was listening to another
Or
actual
DV.
play today, and they kept getting that wrong. They're like, "Oh, it beats it." I'm like, "No, that's not it."
No.
And then I get it. I'm like, "All right, cool. I beat it.
Yeah. I get so into what we're doing that it just is habit, and I gotta break that one.
One of the
Well,
As
probably
long as it's in
doesn't-
our favor, darling.
It probably doesn't help either that we do jump systems literally weekly.
Yeah.
I mean, so we do go from Cyberpunk. We have our and personally our own long-standing D&D campaign we play, and then we regularly are like, let's play this. So
yeah,
This
I
sounds cool,
think
let's
we
try
do
it.
pretty good, but yeah.
yeah. I like that we've got a home system, but between all of us being competent players and competent GMs, we can jump into anything with a day or two notice.
Yeah.
Like with this team, we can play whatever we want.
That's one of my favorite things about this too. Like if we decide to play a random one shot or whatever, I give you guys 12 hours notice, and you've got amazingly detailed characters ready to go.
I can do characters on 4 hours notice, Mike. I can't do closing arguments.
Yeah, buddy.
I can make a whole cast in 4 hours, but closing arguments,
Which, of course, we'll get into our character process here a little bit later tonight
That's
as
right.
well. That's going to be a big focus for the second half
Yes,
tonight.
I am really looking forward to actually building some stuff with you guys tonight. What do you guys have to say about Chapter 1? Like,
It didn't at all go the way I kind of expected. Every time I
Who
thought,
thought
I'm
it
like,
was gonna end in court?
no.
Mike?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mike, when
Not
did
until
you
that belt
make
buckle
that
was stolen.
decision? Like when that happened though, when you're like, haha, I'm gonna sue you, did you really think like, oh no, I'm gonna run with that? Or did it kind of come later?
So that one came about that I thought it would be a fun surprise to throw in one day. A nice and a fun cliffhanger to have someone hand you a piece of paper and be like, "We'll read it next week." For a lawsuit. And I kind of thought it would fade into the background, but then we just kind of it just kind of grew, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's just dive in full into it and see where it goes. And you guys really ran with it, and that was super fun. It just started as a note, Hopscotch stole a cool belt buckle, and then Dash, what would happen if someone sued her over that? And then
That's that living world that I'm talking about. You do so well. It's stuff like that behind the screen, I would never think of something like that. Like, I'm an okay GM. I think I do a good job at, especially like the short horror stuff. I really have fun with that. But
that was super cool.
I can't. The way your brain works to have this whole living world just constantly impresses me.
It's the only way I can keep up with you guys is to know what is going on over there.
All
So
the
when you
time.
just be like, "Oh, shiny," and run off that way, I have an idea of what's over there.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I love it. It's I'm just as surprised, I think, as everybody else is what happens every week.
That's fair. So we got a chat question on Twitch from Speeg Spikel. I know that Cyberpunk rules are not meets it beats it. Is it bad that I just personally don't like the idea that if the GM gives you a number and you hit the number, you still fail? No, and that's what I love about tabletop is your table is your table. Play whatever rules make the sense for your table. If you guys like playing meets it beats it at your table, that's the rule at your table. I mean, Mike Pondsmith ain't gonna come down and backhand you.
Yeah.
And I think too, speaking for myself, like I like to use the rolls to determine like a gradient. Like so, a 1 is, static loses his leg. Maybe I meet that. Well, okay, so he doesn't lose his leg, but maybe it's not all the way healed either. Like, so what does a fail mean? You can really use the dice to fit that role, and tell the story that way. So I really think like that's the beauty of playing. If it wasn't for dice rolls, like it's just us make believe, which is fun, but it is a game. Like it provides a structure like that's not predictable. And that's the fun of it. Like, I mean, we love that. Like, and so I think that whichever way you play it can be so valuable. And like I think that's what makes a good dungeon master, what makes a good role player is like, okay, what did that role say about what I was doing? I love too that that's kind of the way we tend to go things is not, can I roll something to check? Instead, we're like, I want to do this. And then we leave it up to Mike to figure out what the hell that means.
You
And
tell
then
me what
we-
I need to roll for it.
Yeah.
And then we find out, okay, did that work? How well did it work? How badly did it not work? Is usually the case is. And
Fiction
yeah,
first.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
I like the way we handle degrees of success, but yeah, to tie it back to an answer, Speeg, whatever makes your table happy makes your table happy. You guys are playing to have a good time, so have a good time.
Yeah, math. I found, if you want to, that doing the exceeding the DV raises the difficulty of each of the dice rolls by a decent amount, I think.
10%.
So it's much harder. Yeah, it's much harder to, succeed at things, to hit things when you're shooting, whatever, that way. So, the fact that we kind of forget about it kind of moves things along a little bit quicker too.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you've really just got to figure out what your table is playing for. If you're playing for super crunchy, rules as written, tactical combat, great, that's awesome. I hope everybody's table's looking for that. If you're looking,
And have you checked out Mechton?
yeah, go play Mechton. But more important than the specifics of how your table interprets a rule to me is that your table is aligned in what you want out of a game. Like this group, one of the reasons this group works well is we all really enjoy a good blend of medium tactical combat and deep roleplay.
Yeah.
Like I definitely, if we were playing a tactical game, every character I've ever made would be dead.
I mean, you're close to that
Instead of
anyway.
almost.
They're not. Yeah, they're all almost dead.
All of my characters are suffering so much right now. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to spread the pain this week. It's fine.
I spread the pain onto my characters. Like, I'm going to run...
You spread the pain onto us.
That's true.
You...
I'm going to run 35 feet
you are
away
mind
from my
controlled.
healer and do something stupid.
Mhm. Every damn week.
Love you, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess let's zoom out a little bit. And I want to open this up to everybody in chat, too. what other systems would you like to play? What other systems would you like to see us play? Personally, I really like Call of Cthulhu. I think it's a very elegant system, but I think it's also a system that deserves a longer format game. I'm kicking around a couple of campaign ideas. I might just run us through one of the pre-writtens. There's a couple of really cool pre-writtens. If we want to have something to do for the next 12 years, we could do masks. I've been thinking about Murder on the Orient Express. That one looks like that might be fun. Yeah, if there's any good modules that you guys know of or anybody in the chat knows of, please let us know. Because, yeah, I'd love to run us through a medium-length Cthulhu game at some point. But, yeah, what other systems would you guys like to dabble in?
I'm a sucker for World of Darkness. It's where I started back in the 90s to date myself, and I do enjoy it.
I think up until you and I have spent a lot of time in World of Darkness together, and I like it. It's a good system. It's a good setting. You do have to be comfortable role playing in modern times for a modern, like, and we ran into a lot of trouble with that when we played our Blood, Sand, and Secrets.
We did a Vegas one, yeah.
Which never got released, which is a bummer. But somebody lost an episode.
To be fair, I don't think we really had things figured out yet, so I'm glad we held out. But
I'm really happy we had that experience and we fucked up in all the ways we did, because
it was just a fun game too.
Oh, it was a really fun game. All of our characters were so great. That's where that was the first game I played with Amy. She came in very late into that game and saved us.
That's right.
I see a trend here.
Yeah.
So
all I do is keep you people alive.
Why do you think we brought you into the party, Amy?
I just want to go back to being a tank.
I will throw out, in terms of systems, like one that we haven't done is Changeling. In terms of it's a World of Darkness based system.
Okay.
It's got a little bit more of the fantasy elements. It's a really interesting. I've played it a couple times way back, but I think it's one that this group in particular would lean into very well.
Yeah, we'll give that a shot. For sure.
The whole idea of banality in that game is really fun. Like the characters themselves suffer with boredom, which is amazing. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got another comment from Speak here. Thanks again. He's got a couple of World of Darkness fanatics that have dragged him into it, VTM and Werewolf. There's even some LARPs in his local area. First time I ever heard about Vampire the Masquerade or World of Darkness was I saw a bunch of people on my campus running around dressed up as vampires. And I'm like...
That was a huge LARP scene.
It was massive when we were in school. And I kick myself for never having joined it at the time. But I'm like, nerds. Now I'm like, hey, I'm going to start a tabletop company.
Where are those LARPs at now?
Yeah, but apparently Speak Spikel has them around him. So
there you go.
I think if we're going to be doing some VTM or some World of Darkness, we do need to be true to the material and go full LARP.
Oh my gosh.
I dressed up for court. Like, that counts for something.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've got some ideas.
You did.
You
so
did.
Good. So good.
I want to see you guys with Mage too.
I really
just the ability to do anything. I think you guys would have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, that we would cause you no end of trouble with Mage, Mike.
And I'll throw out the wrench there too. Like, I think I would struggle with that. Like, I need a little structure for me to then break.
That's fair. That's fair. It's definitely. I've read people have trouble with it, and they just end up casting Fireball. Like, they just kind of fall back on the old reliables, and I do think especially if we implemented a little bit of internal structure, that all of us would really lean into that. Let's
Yeah,
hear.
and I think we set things, maybe not so modern day, so we have a little bit more kind of leeway if that's the way we want to go with it.
Yeah. What about Ray and Amy? What systems do you guys want to see us get into?
I don't know any systems because this is all I've ever done. So I'm down to play anything.
Well, I guess
Whatever you guys want to throw at me. Yeah.
What other experiences are you looking for from tabletop then?
Like, do you want to be a dinosaur? Do you want to do steampunk? Like, what's in your heart, Ray?
Do you want to be a group of cats?
Would you like to be a bunch of chefs deciding whether chowder is soup?
Do you want to be little
First of all,
Orphananny?
first of all, it's its own thing. That's
No,
why it's a different
Chowder
name.
is a type of soup according to the dictionary, Ray.
I will leave this.
Okay,
Right
fine.
now.
Chowder's not a soup.
So for if anybody wants to join
Chowdergate.
these kind of lively debates of chowder versus soup, please join our Patreon and get access to our Discord.
Yes, in our Discord, you can be part of such thrilling debates as is chowder soup? And what else do we have? Talk about cheese.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Talk about
stuff.
food a
Love
lot.
cheese.
It is something like a cheddar soup. Is that a chowder? Like a cheddar beer soup. Is that a chowder? To get completely off topic,
Yeah, let's
let's leave that as the Discord question for
I'm
this
regretting
week.
my opening my mouth.
Yeah, you did it, Donnie.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all
What's
my
in your
fault.
heart, Ray?
What's
Tell
in my
us.
heart? Honestly, probably Cyberpunk is in my heart. I put so many hours just into that game. That's probably any kind of futuristic, dystopian future. That's definitely my aesthetic. Star Wars also.
I was about to say I really enjoyed our
Firmly
Star
in
Wars
there.
one shot.
Yeah,
That was
that
a
was
lot of
actually-
fun.
That was probably one of the most fun sessions I've ever had because we had so
That was
much
a lot of
tension
fun.
at the table. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love, like, we do such friendly, cooperative stuff. I love when we get a little bloodthirsty with each other.
Yeah.
Ooh, a
Speak
Blade
Spike
Runner
asks-
table tip? Yeah.
If we've played the Blade
Nice.
Runner TPRPG. Not yet, but we're gonna.
Like
I did not realize there
Is that-
was a Blade Runner TTRPG, so thank you, Speak, for bringing that to my attention. I actually just watched 2049 for the first time the other night.
I just saw some trailers of that. I'm like, I should probably watch that because I'll admit and lose a little nerd credit. I've not watched any of the Blade Runner. Like,
Yeah, I've
I
definitely
read the book.
Nice.
nerd. No,
It's
I
Free League.
I really like the original. I thought the 2049 was great. I think they did the aesthetic perfectly. And I walked away from it thinking. So that's what I wanted from a cyberpunk movie. Amy.
Oh, it's based on Year Zero. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
We're definitely gonna play this.
All right, Amy, your turn. What's in your heart?
Mike already has it like in a shopping cart somewhere. It's like-
What?
it's downloading as we speak. Y'all.
He's already
Mike
got
is
half the
on
campaign
shit.
planned.
Yeah, no, Mike is on
He's
shit.
got all of his Tyrell execs already named, backstories filled out.
He is that good.
All right, Amy, you can't squirrel out of it. What's in your heart?
It's well, you know what's funny is like my first thought was like I have all of these different books and guides for things, and I just need to justify like owning them and having spent money on them. But one that I do have is 1879 from FASA Games, which is really cool. I did like at a con a little sit down like mini game with them going through 1879, and that was really fun. It's like back in the day London is the setting for that. I also have a really kind of off one called Pitfalls and Penguins, and you could be like a penguin with like a chainsaw running around. So I have that one, and then Forgotten Realms is another one that was a gift from my wife a long time ago that I've not really like cracked open the box. So I need to justify my life.
Well, you know what? If only you had a group of gamer friends who are always looking for
know.
new things to try.
But here's the thing. Well, I would also feel bad, like, leaving my book at Donnie's house and being like, I'm going to need you to run this because I'm incompetent. Like,
I
that's the
have
other part
faith
of the
you could run
problem.
it. I have full faith in you.
I've seen your notes. You can run it.
Oh God, yes. Like
I
you,
show a lot of notes.
I have full faith. I'd love to see everybody run a game at some point.
Nope.
We'll
The
get you
one
there.
Ray runs would be the shortest game in history because we would all die within 4 minutes.
Right?
Like, it'd just be.
You know what I could see Ray running really effectively? Alien. It's a very lethal system.
Super deadly.
Oh, that one All right, we got a few minutes until we got to switch over. I want to talk about playing 3 characters in one episode. That was it was a challenge,
And not losing the accent.
I can't believe I didn't lose the accent when I was cross-examining myself. Like, oh my
I love
God.
when you forgot to answer your own question, though.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was
Like-
hilarious. I asked myself a question. I'm just sitting there waiting for one of you to respond for like 30
Yeah.
seconds. And then oh shit, that's me. I role-played it too. Oh, that was one of the most challenging role-playing sessions I've ever had, but also easily one of the most rewarding. Like I'm not ashamed to say I'm proud of being able to pull off the accents. Not even gonna lie, leaning in my chair is half of how I pulled it off. This is Smitty. This is true. Go back and watch. You'll see me. I'm doing this as I'm talking.
Well, everyone's got their tricks to get into character, right? Like that's a physical change is a big like acting
Oh
tip.
yeah. Like I love that I do get to act this venue.
What?
Right? But
Knowing
yeah,
you your whole life, I did not know that about you.
Really? You never picked up that I'm a bit of a glutton for attention?
Big ol' ham, yeah.
Big ol' ham.
Big old ham.
I put that on my tombstone. Big
The
ol'
technical
ham.
term. Big old ham.
Also like to act. No.
Done. There we go. All right, Donnie. With that, I'm gonna kick it over to you 2 minutes early.
All right. Well, did you have any kind of transition or anything here? Otherwise, I'll launch us right in.
Nope, I've launched us over to our new overlay for your half of the show.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So we have.
If you guys have anything else you want to ask about season 1, hit us up here. Hit us up on Facebook. We'd love to answer questions and engage with you guys.
Or Instagram or TikTok.
Yes, Instagram,
Get it right.
TikTok, all of that stuff. Like, subscribe, all of that fun nonsense you hear all the time from everybody on YouTube, but it really does help. Now, Donnie, take us to Humblewood.
All right, awesome. So, yeah, we're going to kind of use tonight to give everybody a little insight into what we do kind of for creating characters. And a lot of times we're all pretty bad in our own personal group here about running true session zeros, which are super important, especially if you're at a table with people that maybe you don't have that relationship with already. I think we're all pretty comfortable. We all have a lot of talks constantly about subjects that are personal to us, that stretch our comfort zones, things like that. And I think we're all pretty comfortable with each other, which makes it a pretty safe environment for us to play our games. But certainly if you're not comfortable, if you're picking up a table of people from just randomly on the internet, that session zero is really crucial. I mean, just making sure the team you're playing with, the group you're playing with knows that their comfortability is important, that you're willing to work with them on the story you want to build. But for us, the biggest part, we usually all talk about a system and boom, we all are instant like, this is the character. Like, and so I kind of had to tell us everybody, like, I was like, please don't. Like,
Don't.
I had to scrap like 3 ideas because I couldn't help myself.
which of course, I mean, isn't necessarily that we don't, but like we wanted to kind of share that process with you all and do it more live than usual instead of just, showing up with here's what we're doing tonight. So we're going to be launching into for the next couple weeks while Mike plays a little catch up and develops our season 2 of Cyberpunk. Which, did we want to share the title for that at this point? I mean, do we want to wait till the
Yeah, might
end
as
for
well.
that?
Let's wait till the end. I
Okay.
think let's do the reveal of the title because it does give away a bit of what happens.
Yeah. So, well, maybe I would have no idea what it's
We'll see.
referencing, but
Yeah.
somebody probably does. But yeah, so we'll catch that at the end. But yeah, Mike's using a couple weeks here to get ahead of us and plan to build that world that we're gonna stretch him on. And in the meantime, I'm gonna suffer. So. So we decided we're going to launch into Hit Point Press's Humblewood using the D&D 5th edition system, which is what I'm most comfortable running. And I'm going to run a pretty much homebrew story here using some things from the Humblewood campaign and that they brief in the book. So if you're familiar with it already, you'll catch some names that you're familiar with. You'll catch some themes. But I do want to think I'm doing something that is my own with it. But in this world, what the party should know is kind of a little bit of what world are they building characters for. So in this world of Humblewood, there is a ruling established council of Corvus, which are a crow-like humanoid species. So the species in Humblewood are all kind of woodland creatures. It's very much built around a very cartoony, almost very cozy character models and style of game. And in this world that I've created, we have a ruling class, and we're going to be exploring a lot of themes of classism, theocracy, and how those things are going to be rebelled against. So you all will be playing a party of recent recruits to the local bandit / rebellion / Robin Hood-esque themed group. And you all should come up with some reasons why you're part of that rebellion, why your character has been cast out of regular society, that anti-hero build. And let's start by talking about, because I did have you guys think about 2 things, which is class and race for the D&D campaign. So I think we can start by talking about where you all are at for that. So what kind of things are you all thinking for your class and race here so far? Anybody want to jump first? Ray's
Well,
ducking behind the hat, so let's go first. Yeah.
I've never really done anything tanky, so I think something tanky and owl like Strig was that in it, right?
Yeah, the little strigs are kind of
Yeah.
the owl species for sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. And
I'm
who?
going Jabeen.
The little mouse of the world, absolutely.
And a fighter, obviously. Scrappy little mouse.
It's so cute.
They are adorable. I am torn between going with a Mapach, the little raccoon guys, but kind of skinned as a ferret, or a one of the little raptor guys with but he's lost the ability to fly. I'm thinking either a Mapach druid or a raptor ranger.
Okay. And Mike, what are you kind of thinking?
thinking I might go with one of those the Vulpin, the little fox guys.
Very cool. Had you thought about class at all, Mike?
So I was kind of either thinking to go squidgy and do some sort of spellcasting thing, or lean into the cleric kind of route. Actually, kind of support you guys for a change, as opposed to just running somewhere and dying.
You mean let
Don't
Amy
make me
do
do
some
it.
damage instead of running
Don't
after
make
us
me do
fixing
it.
us?
So as I kind of talked about, we are playing into a little bit of classism, and there is definitely a class divide in the world between the humble folk, which are the forest land-based creatures, and the wood folk, which is kind of the division made in the book itself. I personally told you all that kind of the gallus, which are like the wild fowl of the forest, or the chickens and the quails and things like that, the strig, and even to a lesser extent the loomis or the doves, tend to fall more in line with the more middle class type citizens of Humblewood and the major cities of the world. But I mean, there is definitely room for anything. I mean, that's the beauty of D&D, but I think that it does should shape your character a little bit. So if Greg, especially since you're talking about going with a raptor, raptors in this world tend to be the muscle, the police force, the enforcers of the will of the Orvis Council, the rulers. And yeah, so I do think that is a challenge if you decide to go that way. I will say, in terms of ease of fitting into the party, going with the Mapak is definitely a easier fit for sure.
Yeah, I think if I go with the raptor, he will be disillusioned because he got hurt and they dropped him like a commodity.
Ooh, I like that.
So it would be playing into those same things. If I go with the Mapak, I think he's going to be very much more from the forest for the forest, whereas the ranger would be developing class consciousness effectively.
Nice.
So I kind of want to see what everybody else settles into, and then I'll pick. It'll be contrary like that.
So yeah, a little bit more about the world then. So there is a central city to Humblewood called the Alderheart, which is basically, the Avatar style tree built city that's a metropolitan, um, huge central city of the realm. There is several outlying settlements around the area. There's like a local farming town. There's a kind of frontier town known as, oh, I don't have all my notes in front of me, unfortunately, but Meadow Glen, Meadow something. But then there's also the Scorched Grove, which is going to definitely be a big theme, is that there's a large segment of the forest that's been consumed with fire, and the consequences of that on the forest and the health of the world and how that came to be. And then there's definitely a growing rebellion as well in the city. As I talked about, that'll be kind of where we start this campaign, is with you all getting your first kind of assignment from what is known as the Coalition, which is the rebellious organization of outcasts outside of Alderheart. And yeah, so I guess we obviously know kind of where Greg's thinking, how he wants to take his characters. How would you all, the rest of you, fit into what pushed you out of mainstream society, or disillusioned you, or led you to be a outcast, or maybe a rebel, or even maybe a little bit of an outlaw?
What are we fighting for again? We're just like,
So
what are we?
the coalition has definitely become more of a, steal from the Corvus, give to the locals that need it, and support their own cause, trying to take from the group in power.
Okay. I think my character's probably like a barbarian class, and that was probably what we did all along. We're probably our own little clan that very much would take stuff and be on the move, and then lather, rinse, repeat.
Nice. So a little bit of more of an outlaw kind of background.
Yeah.
It's kind of how you ended up there. I like that.
Maybe are you getting pushed into the coalition because your raiding lands are getting burnt up?
There's less and less. Yeah.
That would make sense. I like that. Amy, Mike, how do you guys kind of end up on the fringes of society?
Yeah. How do you feel, Mike? I'm not like under pressure on the internet live trying to come up with something. It's fine.
Oh, shit, we're
Come on,
live.
we all know we've
How
had
do you feel,
about
Mike?
30 minutes and made whole backstory characters before. This is nothing.
You told us to not think of it at all, and I literally did not.
Same.
We listened so well.
I came up with Jerbeen in the meantime.
Sure
That was it.
bean. Sure bean.
And I have sung it to the tune of that song for weeks in my head.
It's so
So
catchy.
thank
you.
It's been on my head since you said it.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry.
Let's see. So there was that big wildfire, right? Destroying communities and things like that, right?
Yeah, there was kind of like a burgeoning kind of rival town almost to Alderheart. And it disappeared in a huge wildfire, forest fire, and is now known as the Scorched Grove, and is definitely a bit of a haunted land almost in the forest.
Yeah, I think, if we're going to lean into this cleric idea here, probably going to see that the upper society here isn't really giving us any aid to any of those people as that city burned. So taking it upon himself to kind of go see what he can help salvage from the fire.
Nice.
So he can kind of help save.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like about it. Like I said, I've kind of talked to you all that I'm definitely relying on a little bit of Robin Hood type themes. I feel like that fits this dynamic a little bit. Of course, heavily inspired just because I loved the Robin Hood cartoon as a kid.
Yes.
Which,
Who did not?
you can't. And when I see Humblewood, that movie just plays rent free in my head.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
of course, I'm going to rampantly steal from all the favorite things. That's what I consider being a good dungeon master, is stealing all your favorite things and telling
It's the
your
most
own
sincere
story.
form of flattery.
It's making
I-
those stories your own. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
Let's be real. There's nothing that's ever unique anymore. So it's really about
Simpsons did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard theory on storytelling. There's only two stories: a stranger comes
Yeah.
to town, or a man goes on a journey. And it's really one
Yeah.
story from 2 points of view.
that's a good way to put it for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, is bringing that humanity into this group of fringe people is a great character role for sure. I think that'll play really well into it. And Amy.
Hi, friend. Well, like the hard part is that I'm just now realizing about myself in this moment is that I really do have a type. And I was thinking about like, this character and how I wanted it to fit. And then I'm realizing like all these things that I'm thinking of are very much like Hopscotch and Tilly and like past characters and how that works. I'm trying really hard to mentally like move on from that. I think I'm gonna go young. And so there is just kind of a lot of that naivety that comes with that. And I think maybe having a family that was very much impoverished and always kind of like fighting for what you have, but on the other side, like very altruistic and very philanthropic, even, you know, literally like give the shirt off your back kind of family. So kind of seeing all of that and seeing like, well, you overcome that and you do good, and this is just like what we do. This is what my family does, and maybe kind of leaning into that.
Okay, I see that. Like the prototypical, like the most generous people are the poorest people type theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I 100% can see that. That would fit very much in this society. So he was like, great, I give, and I give, but I don't have anything to give. So how do I get something to give? Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
How
I
do I
like
keep
that.
my hospital that's in the back of my kitchen running? You know?
Yeah, you rob the hospital that's run for profit. Like,
Yeah. Obviously.
All right.
I definitely get that.
I think I've got it figured out.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the raptor guy. I'm gonna be a ranger. He was effectively a cop. And I think his lover and him got hurt. His lover died and he got hurt. And they basically threw him out. So he's not in this for social justice right now. He's in this for revenge. He sees the coalition as a lever to get revenge on the Corvus and their evil schemes, as he sees it.
Okay. I like that. And I think it's going to be. So are you thinking almost like bloodthirsty?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's blinded by vengeance, and he doesn't so much care about helping the other humble folk right now as he does about punishing the Corvus.
I like that. I think that makes a lot of sense to fit in. I like that we have 4 very distinct reasons to be in this group, this kind of outlaw group, and they just fit really well. And they're gonna make. I think that's gonna bring a really nice dynamic to the group as well. Like, there's a reason why you'll all be there. There's reasons why you all will generally trust each other, like to be part of the mission. I can see why the rebellion would be like, yeah, let's bring these 4 in. They're new to us, but like he wants to fight really bad. They want to make something. They want to get the goods. They want to. Yeah, I like it. I think that's a good fit for everybody. Um, do any of you know each other from before joining? Do any of you have like prior relationships to each other? Do any of you want prior relationships to each other? Because obviously we haven't planned that. This is the kind of time to plan those kind of things. How did you guys meet? Maybe what are we thinking? How do you think you would have come to join the rebellion? Were you recruited? Did you seek them out?
I could see my character being very young and just kind of like maybe seeing one of you all like out in the community doing something and then just being like, well, that's the cool thing, and that's like I need to do that. And then suddenly being like the obnoxious like little kid like following you around like, what you doing now? What are you doing now? What is that? And kind of like having that as they come into age, and then, you know, once they're old enough, falling into the actual coalition.
Would you think your character is probably from Alderheart, like the big city, Amy? Or are you more so visualizing them as a country bumpkin kind of small family? Like, so there's a big theme too of this in the city. There's definitely tiers of the tree, very much a striated society, a classist society, and the roots. There's warrens underneath the roots of the Alderheart, and that was something that kind of helped lead to this organization forming. Is that those warrens were purged? Like they tried to like kick out the undesirables a little bit. Um, I could see that being something that drew somebody in for sure.
That's
I
where
see
Horbus
Greg's
got
already.
hurt.
Ooh, I like that.
He got hurt and watched his partner get killed in one of these raids gone wrong.
Yeah, I definitely like you saying that. I'm picturing like a tenement building for
Yeah.
sure. Like we're all in this like 2-room place with like, your 12 kids and making, your own dresses and stuff in one room and your porridge in the other kind of thing and sleeping on the floor. Like, yeah, very much, I think, yeah, like a tenement in the city would make sense.
Okay. Maybe you and Greg's character had an encounter in
Yeah.
this then.
I'm kind of thinking, Amy, if your character is from Alderheart, then my character probably had a one of those relationships where like the cop is trying to keep the kid from the life of crime kind of thing. So he'll like arrest you and stuff, but never like book you or anything like that.
The Scared
Scared
Straight
Straight
program.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, that trip to the morgue really turned me
yeah,
around.
right. I think his heart is in the right place, but especially back then, he had no idea how to actually express that. And so he tried to show care for the members of his community by being a little overbearing and trying to make them live what he thought was right. And so, yeah.
And I think mine will kind of start to like cling a little bit and be like, there's something happening. Like you're going on a call. Okay, I'm ready. And try to like get in the car and obviously we don't have cars, but like, saddle up beside you. And then you're just like, no, go home.
And I think you've definitely I think you're the only one he knows from before. And I think you saw Orbis change very, very substantially when he got hurt. I think all of that kind of warmth and outreach that you saw that you could tell was under his overbearing, overprotective stuff, it's hardened.
Very cool. So Ray, you're thinking is Strig. So you'd be our other owl, a bird folk, and the Strig are kind of like the middle class of the bird folk. They can kind of go either direction in terms of sympathies. They have a lot of they've got their bird privilege and take advantage of that. But at the same time, like you're not necessarily part of the ruling elites. Some Strigs are probably part of the church. You kind of said you want to be more of a barbarian group, taking advantage of the others and taking what you want. So how do you think you fit in with the others? Do you know anybody? Have you robbed anybody in the group?
Did you rob a child?
Taken anybody as captive?
I don't think any of them specifically I would have taken captive, but I'm sure there's definitely I think our clan's probably gone, either like disbanded or maybe burned. I don't know. They're gone. She's kind of got nowhere else to go.
Maybe your family reverted to more barbarism after like the burning of the scorched grove. That'd be kind of cool. Like,
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So like this is it. She's not. She's kind of reluctant, I guess. It's just like this is it. She really doesn't have anything else to do, anywhere else to go. This is her safety now.
Like that. Falling into it because there's nowhere better, no one else will have you, and
this is it.
Does she miss the community aspects of her clan? Is that kind of what she's looking for?
I think she probably misses family. I don't think she really misses necessarily like community aspects. So personal relationships and ties, sure, but the rest of it she could take or leave.
And then Mike, you kind of said you're thinking more so like the religious aspect. So there is definitely a church-driven side of the government. So like there's the Corvus Council, which is like the ruling elite of Alderheart. But there is also a church system that's like a theocracy a little bit, that's lends credibility to the Corvus, kind of tells the tales of why the Corvus are in power. So there's a very old legend, very common to Humblewood, that there's rhythms of the land and a beat to the kind of world itself. And any Humblewood resident can kind of be in tune with that. But in the legends, it's the beatings of the find what I put it as here, the old one's wings, and that's what entitles the Corvus to rule. Are you of that religious aspect? Or are you more of what? How do you view it?
I think I like the idea of like a trickster kind of cleric trying to, there's that reverence for the natural world and all that, and trying to help people through some type of humor, try to bring some light to some of these horrible things that have been happening, and then I think maybe losing some morality chicken, if you will, that no one's going to help these people. I have to do this.
And so
Like
I will
the
say
church
that
isn't sending aid.
there is definitely like a contrary opinion, the heretical view that the rhythms aren't the old one's wings. It's the beating of the heart of the forest, essentially. And it's something true to all humble folk, not just bird folk. So
yeah,
I
I think I like
definitely
that.
feel that. I like that. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big part of the theme is, the idea that, this isn't a religion for one. It's not a religion to support it. It's not a power to be. So I want it to be more of a, the power struggle and overturning of that ruling class. So I think bringing that contrary religion to the fold group, that definitely is great.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really fun for my character because he's definitely a believer of the old. You know? So seeing it interpreted in new ways is going to be fun.
All right, so we kind of got who you all want to play. We have some class ideas. I think there's a good balance to the group here. Let's talk about how do you come up with names. I think that's always a fun aspect. So, Amy, how are you going to somehow manipulate the name you don't know that you're going to create?
Don't do it. I'll share with the world as Donnie's calling me the fuck out. I have a history of not being able to come up with names, so I find clever ways of doing that. So currently I have a character Idka, which is IDK, like I don't know, which is just kind of what I put as the placeholder, and then I run with it. I had another one named Maybe, because I was like, maybe I'll use this character. I don't know. And then there was Ashka, one shot character.
That's
I
awesome.
did not catch that one.
Nope.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you remember Ashka?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nameless. I remember Nameless.
Nameless. Nameless. So yeah, I have now just made a game. I have made a full game of seeing how I can not name my characters. So I have a list of like acronyms that mean like
Amazing.
Anonymous basically, and I'm ready to use that.
All right. Anybody else? How do the rest of you come up with names for your characters? I do love, we've got in our homebrew D&D just some wonderful last names for Ray and Mike's sibling characters. Following a similar theme.
See, it's on trend, you guys. You're just on trend.
They make for the best hyphenated name ever. Redacted.
Yeah, have you guys thought about names for your characters at all?
No.
So what I typically do is I'll get my character idea and I'll flesh that out a little bit. And then I'll jump over to Fantasy Name Generator and I'll just refresh until something looks right. And then I'll tweak that to fit the character. So I was using it just now and I got one Horbus, which reminds me of Horus. So, boom. My little raptor dude's named Horbus.
That's a good way to go. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that for sure.
It's not
And
as
I think
fun
that's
or
the key
unique
is-
as Amy's, but
But I think
I
the fact
suck
that you
at coming
take
up
it
with
as a
names, too.
guide, like Mike, how do you come up with character names? Obviously, you deal with more character names than any of us, so
Names are hard. Usually it's something pops into my head related to the character, and I kind of run with that and figure out how to make a name out of it, or something that sounds right. These things just kind of pop in there. I wish there was more of a system to it because it would be more productive. But for this one, Tallow popped into my head, so I think we're gonna run with that.
ooh, I like
Cool.
that.
like Static, I don't know how I came up with I think I was using the random thing for Static. But Chad Gale, I'm like, what is the whitest, most fucking... I'd see it on a yacht-ass name I could think of.
Yeah.
And that's how I got Chad Gale. With Arthur and Mary as his parents.
So that's one thing I do like in D&D is like if you start looking in the character creation tools they provide, they usually do try and provide like some generic styles of names specific to the
It's very
race
helpful.
or species, which is a great starting point. Like I know that's something I've used in the past. I do rely a lot on, puns or little ties to the characters. So like my favorite character is I had the Haragon Lapin Jack, which I just looked up synonyms for rabbits and,
That was awesome.
Oh, I miss
came up with the
Lapin.
name.
Yeah, that's
I've
laughing
done
too.
a couple Warforged and I always use like, leet speak to make names and things like that.
I miss Leet Speak.
Yeah, dating myself a little bit there for sure.
Right. Go to thinkgeek.com. Oh, I miss...
You guys don't do that still?
ThinkGeek is gone.
Yeah, ThinkGeek is gone. GameStop owns it.
Wow. Really? Crazy.
Yeah.
That day. Newegg.
Yeah.
Is Newegg still...
Yeah.
So Ray, how did you come up with your other character
Noctis?
names?
'Cause you
Like
seem to
we've got
have
Noctis, your
a
D&D.
vibe to most of your names.
So Noctis was I wanted something that sounded sneaky because she's a rogue. I was trying to think of like nighttime, and then I got nocturne. And I just kind of tweaked it until I got
Oh, right.
Noctis. And then found out like months later from Mike that there was a Darth Noctis in Star Wars, and I was like, it's perfect.
Now she's
Yeah.
on her way to becoming a Darth.
How about
And,
cavalry?
and then
how'd
Atreus
cavalry come
is-
to be? Oh,
Well, yeah,
I think-
Atreus is also a Sith Lord from like the super old Republic. So
nice.
yeah.
I had no idea.
Nope. Leave it to those two. If anybody is going to know that, it's Mike and Ray.
See, my Star Wars lore always went from like, original trilogy kind of onward, the New Republic. Like, yeah, I never got too much into the ancient Old Republic.
Oh, the
Sith
books are
stuff.
so good, man.
I never got
You've
into
got time.
the history. I got really into the tech. Like, I just found my old Star Wars tech manuals. Like,
Yep. Those are cool.
I did love my old like vehicles of Star
yes,
Wars like
yep, I've got
book.
those on my
Yep.
shelf right
They're
now.
so good.
Yep.
Like, I still reference those. I love them. They're great books.
So Ray, how did you come up with cavalry?
It was in the app. It was like, do you need a name?
all
And
of
I
us
was like,
come
I
up with-
do.
I think that is
So
where Static
where
came
Scrawl
from.
came from too. Like,
I know
terrible.
True came from that, too.
Hopscotch is the one name I made up, y'all. I actually came up with that.
The one time all of us used a generator, you came up with one.
I did it myself. And her full name, I mean her full name, which was TBD, if you've ever seen any of
love
it.
that.
It was a secret until court. Her name was TBD.
When did you actually know her name?
Oh, from the start. It was in my original backstory. I've known the whole time.
Yep.
Just a fun little secret between me and Mike.
Oh,
She's got so many secrets, you guys.
so many.
We'll never know.
Amy is at
Yeah.
least as mysterious as hopscotch. Amazing.
Yeah. More so. Definitely more so.
Definitely.
Which is so funny because I feel like you know more about me than like half my family probably does at this point because I talk to you all the damn time.
I know, we don't shut up. Our group chat's like 23 hours a day.
Insane. Real bad.
What about you, Donnie? How do you come up with character names?
Like I said, I usually rely on puns. I like to make something that I find amusing and then like try and hide it a little bit usually, so that I can just secretly laugh at it. But I steal rampantly for sure. Like if people in my group come up with something and I'm like, I really like that, I may pull that idea and create a character out of it. So I have a really fun character I've played in the past that's a kobold sorcerer. It started with our Icewind Dale campaign, and Amy randomly named the 3 kobolds they found. And it just evolved into my a wild magic sorcerer character that I wanted to play called Fitz or Fritz, and was a ton of fun. Like, yeah, it was Fritz Williams, and I can't
kobold with
remember
a bow
the other
tie.
two,
That's
but
amazing, and I love it.
The other two, like it was Fitzwilliam was like very, posh, and then there was like I don't know, fucking Sparkles or something. Like the other two were really dumb.
well, yeah, like it was just such a fun little tweak of ideas, and it just was so great. Like he was like this kobold that got awakened and like became more than a standard kobold.
Okay, that actually kind of. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's usually where it comes from. Is usually I want something thematic and it fits into the world. So like I said, I've played a lot of Eberron. So I've come up like I had a one shot where like the group there was like 3 people and there was no healer. So I was like, I'm gonna play a DM character, but I really don't want to play a DM character. Like so I made Mortimer the Silent. Like and, gave him a cleric that followed around. Like things like that. And, I'm not opposed to a generator. Similar to you, like if I do use a generator, it'll usually be like a starting point. Like, okay, that's close, and I think I want to there. Now it's right. Like it fits that guy. And I usually like to think about like who was this character. Like there's a lot of times where I still think there's a lot about Scrawl that like is headcanon to me that is not even out there at all. And that's true with a lot of characters I've made. I tend to tell a whole story in the background. Like I have one character we played a little bit in your world of Eberron, Greg, Xaneth, and like we hardly played all, but I could tell you about his whole childhood. Like
I love that. Like, all of us make so robust of characters, and we like even with as dense as we role play. We only scratch the surface.
Yeah. I miss Rust sometimes.
yeah, that was a good character.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I would definitely like to spend more time in Eberron.
Well, you're about to.
I know it.
Yeah.
We play
I'd
a
like to
lot
check
of
out
D&D on
Dragons.
our. Yeah, Mike's not aware of that yet. So yeah,
Oh,
you're
that's
gonna learn
right.
some new things.
Ah, no, you missed a hell of a couple of sessions in our home game.
Yeah, I did.
Thank God, Amy brought diamonds.
Thank God for Amy. Yes.
All right, so we're
They're
getting
awful.
kind of close
She's
to
just
wanting
angry
to.
and disgusted.
They're so terrible, Mike. We needed to.
So as we kind of wind down on time here, like I think let's talk about a little bit of more normal session zero stuff that's important to bring up for, especially like we said, new campaigns, groups that aren't familiar with each other. Now I think we're all pretty comfortable with each other, but are there any themes in particular you all want to explore? there any topics you would want us to stay away from now that you kind of know a little bit about the story I want to tell? I mean, I certainly want to make sure it's a story you all want to tell as well, because that's the most important part of these RPG games, is that it's not just me telling you a story and letting you guys roll dice within it. It's how we tell a story in this world that I'm going to kind of shape for us.
And I'm looking forward to tackling very heavy and timely topics of classism and separation at the hands of the state. I think it's going to be heavy, but it's also going to be rewarding roleplay and a really engaging story.
I suspect I'll just obnoxiously counter that.
You don't want to deal with any classism at all?
I mean, I indicated that I have a young character who just, I mean, whatever notion that she has of it is going to be wrong, probably, you know?
Naive, maybe.
Yeah, very much so.
Still believes in heroes.
Yeah, I mean, especially if she's following my character around, or was.
I'm sure still is.
Is there any themes that y'all would want to stay away from?
My first thought was belts.
I'm so done with belts, you guys. even in real life, I've gotten rid of all my belts.
The hopscotch belt is like the only actual belt that I personally own. I do not own a belt.
You don't have a belt.
That's amazing.
Phenomenal.
I am allergic, which is the dumbest thing to say, but it's true.
So that's why hopscotch has a thing for belts. It's you're living out that fantasy.
Your belt fantasy.
I
don't understand how
never
you're
dreamed.
allergic to belts.
So I'm sure not every single one, but the buckles themselves, a lot of them are made from like shit metal, like the nickel. And I will have a reaction from that if it comes in contact with my skin.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep. So I'm allergic to belts and shit earrings. So.
Oh, shit earrings are the worst.
Yeah.
Itchy and hate 'em.
So I'm so glad that the internet knows that about me now. Allergic to belts.
So when you all send Amy jewelry gifts, real metal.
No nickel.
$99
please.
or better, y'all.
Yeah. It's gotta be good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm an expensive date.
999 or nothing.
But worth it, right?
So worth
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
All right, Ray, Mike, anything you really want to like focus in on, or honestly, like I said, I definitely want to hear if there's things that like, hey, I really don't want to see kids starving in this story, or things like that. I mean, that's always very valid, is taking into account your party's triggers and what they might be sensitive to. I know from our experience, we're all pretty open to doing things absolutely terrible to each other and dealing with terrible grossness. But yeah, is there anything we want to stay away from?
I'm not opposed to anything. I think that's all on the table. I think I trust us to not go over with anything.
I think you hit it on the head there. Is we have, tied to what Donnie's been saying, we've built that trust. We've put the time in to earn that trust from each other. And that's why these session zeros are so important, especially if you haven't.
Yeah.
Because you can get yourself into, it's all make-believe until it's bringing up traumatic memories and you're having a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And I've been at tables where that's happened, and it's not a good time for anybody. So session zeros are absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Even when you've been playing together for as long as you have, or we have.
And I've always had an open, like, it's hard sometimes to, like, in the midst of a group say, like, I don't like that. Like, nobody really wants to be out in front. I mean, let's be honest. RPG players tend to be more introverted, not stand in front, despite when you get into the role playing, some of us definitely do get very
Despite one of
outgoing.
us.
Like, yeah, believe it or not, I'm incredibly introverted myself, but I can stand in front and really talk. But like, yeah, sometimes it's about making sure people know, like, hey, it's okay to come to me afterwards and say, like, hey, I didn't love that. Like, and being the game master is sometimes it's like being a boss. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to have that delicate conversation with somebody, like, let's not do that.
Yeah, I ran public tables for a number of years, and it doesn't happen often, but sometimes you do have to have those conversations. Especially if you're at a public table where you've got all sorts coming and going.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure Amy and I have played with some unique groups of people together. And, that's some of the fun too, is you get to see people in those experiences grow as people. We played with a very wide ranging group from young fresh college students to people a little bit older than ourselves, that are from very different walks of life. And some of them were very green and very fresh and not very comfortable with people in all situations. And, it was awesome to see those people grow in the way that these kind of games can let people get out of that. I've got to be normal and I've got to fit into society and I got to fit into what people expect. Whereas here you can kind of be a little goofy. You can be a little weird. You can really be yourself while not being yourself at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was one of the really rewarding things running public games is I've got an accountant and a high schooler and a punk. And they're all telling a story together and growing from it. It's people you'd never see interacting outside of a game shop. Now, that's how I met Mike, is a public table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now look what happens.
Yeah.
me and Amy connected over a random West Virginia Facebook post about looking for D&D players, and I found the D&D like club at a local college at an ice cream shop. Like, so it's a great vehicle. Like, I
Yeah.
think both of us were in a place where, like, we don't know anybody out here, and ended up found a real good friend.
That's
like,
so
which is
awesome.
Donnie was my first friend. When I
That's such
moved
an
here.
amazing
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. I was really lucky. I got to know the guys who started the Adventure League out in the part of SoCal I was in. I was like the first player in the Adventure League. And then I quickly became a DM in it. But it's a very cool to be part of that community, to watch a community grow up around a game. It's so cool to be part of.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're kind of running towards the end of our normal window here. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about, how they process new characters, new stories? Otherwise, we'll kind of move on to our kind of teaser for season 2 Cyberpunk and talk about a little plugs for our current stable of shows that's growing.
Yeah. I do want to touch a little bit, because it's one of my favorite parts of building a character, is how do you all bake conflict into your character? Because
I'm a golden retriever, so not at all.
Yeah, I love playing with your golden retriever characters because they're very fun, and I love the way they foil my conflicted and fucked up characters.
And I think that's kind of you and me all over.
Yeah.
Just for the whole life. But
one of us leads into conflict and the other doesn't have to deal with it.
I don't think doesn't have to, just doesn't, because it's me. Like,
Fair.
No, that's a great question. How, Ray, Amy, Mike, how do you kind of build like that conflict in the character? And I think a big part too is like, how do you avoid the usual tropes? Like there's so many common that it's like there's memes and memes and memes, but
like, I'm a rogue with dead parents.
Yeah, so like when like with Noctis,
Why you
I
calling Ray
wanted
out
to
like
do
that, Greg?
the opposite of that. Because like again, I'm so new to all of this, but I did know that that was a trope. Like all rogues have tragic backstories, and I was like, this one doesn't. She's got a big ass family. They
What if I
all love
didn't?
her. Yeah,
Noctis is
they're
such
all
a
still very
fantastic
much
rogue.
alive. Yeah.
Like her family's so
Oh, that.
big, Mike's character is a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually just did the opposite of what I guess everybody else does is what I do. And that's how that works for me.
It's a solid plan.
Yeah,
What about you,
it's
Amy?
worked so far.
Yeah. I don't know. H is the first character that I've had that actually had like any of that. I usually just kind of play a few sessions, and then as we going and I see little bits of the story, then I start creating my background to kind of react to some of those
Okay.
things. Um, H is really the first one that I kind of thought a little bit more ahead of time and built in, like, I mean, same with Noctis, where it's like, oh no, like she has this amazing family, there is going to be this incredible good side, but like, yeah, terrible stuff happens to everybody, love, loss, blah blah blah. So I made sure to add that just so that it kind of fit within the environment that we had. But yeah, I typically just kind of make mine a little bit more reactionary, probably, as I get used to the character, get used to playing it, see how it feels, and then kind of build from there.
Yeah.
I
Like
like.
I oh.
Go for it.
I was just gonna say, like with Skrull, I definitely did feel like he was kind of that unique way, and I did lean into some trope that he had no family, but I mean, he was kind of an orphan of Night City, and at the same time, like I didn't want that to be like what defined him either. Like I wanted him to be a bit jaded, and but at the same time, he grew up in some kind of community still. He had people that were important to him, and we got to see that a little bit, which was cool. But at the same time, it was very much like Amy too, where I was like, I played a few sessions with him. I got a feel for who the character was, and then I was like, okay, how did I get to be this character? Like, which was
Mm-hmm.
a unique kind of experience.
I like to give my characters. I like to have them have a big goal related to the world, and then some sort of personal flaw that's in conflict with that. So, like, maybe he wants to be a politician, but he's got a skooma addiction that he's trying to keep on the down low or something like that. And I like playing with that big and small, and how the small will impact the big. And then what you guys are talking about, building those small bits as I know the character, get to know him, and play into that. But that's my trick for it, is big goal, small conflicts that counter that.
Like that.
Yeah, I like that approach.
It gives
All right,
me a lot
so
of room to role play, which I like doing. Go figure.
all right, so we are winding up on time here at this point. So let's I'm going to throw it to Mike to introduce here a little teaser. So you have shared with us the title of season 2, and we all know a
Right.
little bit where you're heading. We're not going to share too much about that, but Mike, why don't you tell us where are we heading for season 2 of Cyberpunk here?
So I will say that some of the arguments that have come up, some of the evidence that was introduced, has raised a couple more questions. So I don't think your legal troubles are quite over. Perhaps by the admission of your own defense counsel. But
Yeah, Anna, I'd like to say that was an incompetent witness and have his testimony struck.
I am an incompetent witness. Yes. Yeah, so I think we're gonna keep it on that cliffhanger of what's happening on there, but I do think The title for chapter 2, I think we're going to go with, is Beneath the Iron Tide.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also,
Love
I
it.
can't tell you how excited I am that we have a name for this chapter.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help us a lot.
I think
I
chapter
did
1 was
promise you a
called
name.
The Crew. I think that's.
I think so.
that's
I
what
like
we-
that.
I
I like
think
that.
that's what we'll call it, kind of,
Okay.
as we catalog it. I like that.
Because that's really what it was. Is who are we? Who did we get together? Why the hell are they together?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
How is it
How
going
are
to
they
go
still
wrong?
together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do drugs and hallucinate green motorcycles is really
H
The
regrets
moral of the story
everything.
here.
All went wrong.
all because of that damn green fucking motorcycle I hallucinated.
All right. But as well, we want to make sure we call out here. We've got a couple other exciting programs on the channel now. If you haven't tuned in for Rave Reviews on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, definitely do. That's been a lot of fun. I've just enjoyed watching it as a consumer of the media myself. It's a great place just to kind of join in. The chat's very active. We've got a huge following now of viewers that seem to be tuning into that. So we're glad everybody's really been enjoying that. Apparently,
Yeah, I've been
so-
having so much fun getting my ass kicked while people make fun of me.
So yeah, Greg's been playing Dark Souls while Ray helps him play Dark Souls as our team's
helps.
best gamer.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like Ray is not even secretly, but is by far the power gamer of
Yeah,
the group.
Far and the fuck away. I think you've
Yeah.
probably got double the next most hours played.
Like kills it in video games. Carried the whole group through Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was
Yeah.
Oh, what? You haven't beat Doom yet?
awesome.
Yeah, have you heard about this cool new game? I just beat it.
It's
Yeah,
been out for
exactly.
12 hours.
So,
I've
yeah,
beaten it already.
Our
I'm on New
resident
Game Plus
gamer
Plus.
helps the long-term gamer that flails through Dark Souls, which has been a lot of
Oh
fun
my
to
god,
watch.
flail is probably the most accurate way to describe the way I play.
And then last week we had the premiere of my new show, which is Donnie Does It. And I do just kind of a nice hangout. It's Wednesday afternoons, a little bit earlier before Rave Reviews. And we just kind of take a little bit of moment in the middle of the week to decompress, hang out, just have a little chat. And I've been doing some miniature painting, which is a huge aspect of the hobby for me. I love doing like the D&D miniatures. I do wargaming miniatures, but painting is just a great way to kind of relieve some stress and focus yourself and just kind of taking some moment to chill to some relaxing music and hang out with y'all on a Wednesday afternoon. So we hope to see you join us for that this Wednesday. And we've got a whole stable of things we've been discussing and look forward to bringing to you over the next couple months. So just stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And honestly, throw us a huge favor. Share something with your friends. Get them to check us out. We really do appreciate it. We're really striving to grow the channel. It is just a project of love for all of us. And we're so thankful that you all have joined us for it. So anything anybody else would like to add? Otherwise, we'll see you all Wednesday, right?
I just want to,
Thank you.
echo what Donnie said.
Thank you.
Thank you all for, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Every time you do, everyone who does, we really, really do appreciate everybody who jumps in here and spends time with us. Speak Spikel, thank you for jumping in the chat tonight and asking us some questions. I can't tell you how cool it is. Like, we're online playing games and people are asking us questions about it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So please be a part of that with us. Like Donnie said, we've got some really big, cool things in the works coming. So keep your eyes on the channel. We're growing. We are growing. So keep your eyes posted, and you'll get sick of these beautiful mugs at some point because you're going to see them so much.
And help me convince everybody that we need to try that Marvel Multiverse RPG.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
I'm
we
already
do.
convinced.
Yeah, I'm
Very good.
convinced.
That's not going to take a lot of convincing.
Indifferent.
So that's 4 difference and 1 indifferent. Gotcha.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you
and
for Underleaf
we'll see you
fam.
Wednesday.
And we will
Good night,
see you
everybody.
guys Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.